So let's take a look at drawing in OpenCV. So firstly, we're going to create a very simple image. It's going to be a black square. And to create a black square, we actually use NumPy's zeros function to create an array that's 512 by 512 height width dimensions and has 3 layers for the BGR or RGB colors. And this is actually going to be our black square. Similarly, we can actually do this without the 3 dimensions to create a grayscale image that's also black. However, they're both going to look identical, as we can see here. So now let's draw a line across our black square. And to do this, we actually use the CV2line function. So we can see this takes in several arguments here. Image, which is the blank square image or black square image we created. And then it takes into these a tuple of 2 coordinates here. This is the start position of a line. Then this is the end position of a line, similarly. Now these 3 values here represent the colors, B, G, R. So this is actually going to be the color for a line. And the last argument, 5, is the thickness, which we use 5 pixels here. So let's take a look at this. Amazing. So now let's draw a rectangle on our image. So similarly, rectangles are very similar to the line function in that we have an input image, we have a start position, an end position, color, and pixels. Thickness, sorry, of a line. So that's it there. So what if we put -1 here? That actually fills our rectangle with this image here. So that's pretty cool. So how about circles? Let's create a circle here. Now the circle arguments are slightly different, as in there's no start and end. However, there is a center and a radius. That gives the dimensions of the circle. Then color, and then similarly thickness here. We use -1 to have a full fill of the circle image here. So that's our olive green circle we created. And what about polygons? So now polygons are basically points being the vertices of each end of the polygon. So let's create an array of points here. So these are 4 points here. And we actually use the reshape function. This is some NumPy function here. So I'm not going to get too much into this reshape function here. Just remember, this is the way we require, polyline requires the points to be stored. So now the polyline function, which is a CV2 function here, OpenCV function I mean, takes the image, takes the points in this form. True is whether the polygon is closed or not. Color of the polygon and the thickness of a line. So again, let's run this. There, we have a weird boomerang shaped polygon that I created. So what about adding text to images? Well, OpenCV luckily has that too as well, with putText. So putText is another simple function. It takes the image again, the black square that we created, the text in a string form. These are the coordinates of the bottom left starting point. The font, and this is a list of all the fonts that I believe OpenCV has. They may have added some others, but these are the fonts that are actually shown in documentation. This is the thickness, the font size, the color, and the thickness of the font. So now let's run this and see how it looks. There we go. Hello world. Our first little OpenCV putting text function. So that's the basics of drawing images on OpenCV. It's actually pretty easy. And we'll actually be doing it a lot throughout this course.